Hey guys, welcome to Programmer Guide. Today we'll be discussing about Docker volume. Let's say we have created a MySQL container. So MySQL is database, so it's supposed to save data inside those database. So now once we created a container, and after that for any reason, if this container is destroyed or corrupted, or maybe we run one command like docker rm MySQL, that means we are removing the container. Now what will happen? Whatever data we have stored inside this MySQL DB, now once we run docker rm MySQL or container is corrupted, what will happen? The data inside those container is completely gone. Now this is a horrible scenario, right? But we are actually expecting to keep the data for longer period of time, not depending on the container lifespan. But in this scenario, whenever this MySQL container is destroyed, it immediately remove the data. But the expected scenario is we should need to keep the data, and once we run the MySQL container once again, it should start with that data, so that once again MySQL database can reflect the same data which we have stored earlier. Now for that, what is the solutions? The solution is we need to create a volume like docker volume create. After that the volume name, like I have given db_data here. Okay, so once you install a docker in a docker host, by default where lib docker folder will be created. Inside that folder there will be couple of folder like volume and container, images, but for now we will be concentrating on this volume folder only. So once we create a volume like docker volume create, that volume name, what will happen? It will create a directory inside your volume folder. Okay, so it will be like this, db_volume. After that, what we need to do, we need to run MySQL container like this, docker run -v is for volume. After that db_data that we have recently created. After that colon, then where lib MySQL, that is the actual data inside the container. This is the folder where MySQL is storing the data. After that MySQL image name. So how it will be stored? You can see in the image, in the container layer, data is storing in where lib MySQL. Actually it is mounted inside your docker host, and the location is where lib locker. After that volume, and thereafter this db_data, this place. Now the question is, do we need to create a volume always before creating your container? Like docker volume create db_data. After that you can assign this volume to your container creation time. But the answer is no, we don't need to create always. Rather we can directly use this command like this, docker run -v db_data 2. After that colon where lib MySQL, and after that the MySQL image name. In that case db_data 2 will be automatically created as a volume. So it internally created a docker volume create db_data 2. After that it will assign that volume to this container. That's how it works. This is called volume mounting. There is another way we can mount a volume. Like you just create your own customized directory like mkdir-p data/MySQL, that folder you have created by your own. And after that you just run docker run -v. Then instead of using the docker volume name, you just provided your customized location like /data MySQL. After that colon where lib MySQL, and after that this MySQL image name. That is the way you can use your customized location instead of using docker volume location. The actual image is like this. You can imagine you have created data/MySQL folder, and that folder you have assigned to where lib MySQL folder inside your container. All your container data will be stored inside /data MySQL folder in your docker host. This is called bind mounting. So previous one was volume mounting. This is bind mounting. There is another way we can write the same command, and this is the new way we can write the command. Like docker run -mount, you should have to provide type. Like we have learned two type. One is bind, another is volume. You can provide the actual type here. Next is source path. You have to provide your source path like source equal to data/MySQL. After that your target path where lib MySQL. Thereafter your MySQL image name. That is the new way you can run your command. So always try to use the latest command instead of using the previous one, because the last one is much more verbose, and that is the way Docker is recommending to use the volume mount and bind mount command. This way we will not lose any data, because the data is not actually residing inside your container. Data actually residing in your Docker host system of a specific folder. So anytime you can remove your container, the data will still be available in your Docker host. Once again you can run a new MySQL container mounting the same volume. It will start with the same MySQL data. Now let's see one demo. For demo purpose, I will be using one of my favorite image, that is Jenkins. MySQL, that's your assignment. You can give a try by your own. So for that, let me go to the Docker Hub, and here you can see that there is an image called Jenkins. You can click on the explore options, and after that you can search Jenkins from this search tab. Once you search that one, you can able to see that Jenkins. So Jenkins is generally used for CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration and deployment. So this is one of the famous software for DevOps tool. So let me create a container using this image. You can see couple of tag is there. So I'll be using Alpine tag because this Alpine one is much more smaller than compared to the latest tag. So how to run this container? Here it is already mentioned. You can see docker run -p, after that 8080, that's the port it is exposing. Also another port is 540. I'll just copy this command and then directly run to my Docker system. Docker version 19.3.12 version is installed in my system. So directly let me run Jenkins container command. So I'm just running it in a detached mode, also providing a name Jenkins1. Container is created. You can see Jenkins1 is created. It exposed the port 8080. You can go to the browser and let me first check the IP of this Docker host. So 192.168.1.102. So I'm just going to the same and once again hitting that 8080 port. You can see the Jenkins GUI is loaded. Now it is asking for password. So how to get the password? Run docker log -a Jenkins1. Jenkins1 is the container name. Here in this log you can see the password is this one. Okay, copy this password and paste it here. You just skip the plugin installation. It's asking to create a first admin user. I'm just putting some default username password. So clicking the start using Jenkins. In that Jenkins, I'm just creating my first job like test1. Just creating directly for demo purpose. You can see one test1 job is created. Okay, now let me stop this container. You can see that container is now stopped. It is exited. So let me remove this container. See, the container is removed. So there is no container. Fine. So let me once again create the container using same command. Now once again the container is created. Go to the GUI. Again refresh the same page. Can see asking for the password, but previously we have already created the container and also set the administrative password, right? But still it is asking the same user ID password, as because we have removed the container. As soon as I remove the container, it destroyed all the data which was available inside that container. So that's why once again it started like a fresh container. So if I go inside this Jenkins again using the password, see that we have created test1 job. This Jenkins doesn't have test1 job, but we are expecting this test1 job should be there. So for that we need to do either volume mounting or pine mounting. So let's try that. So let me remove the existing container. Now I have removed the Jenkins1 container. First create a directory called data/Jenkins, give a permissions. After that run a command like this, docker run. After that -v, provide your directory name like /data/Jenkins : then Jenkins folder locations. So Jenkins home folder location is var/Jenkins home. Like MySQL it is var/leave MySQL. Here it is var/Jenkins_home. Now run this container, check the password. Here is the password. Refresh the page. I'll just skip this page. Now let me create a test job quickly. So I have created a test job for demo purpose, test job 2. Once again going back and removing the container. So container is removed now. Let me start once again a fresh container with the same data point. This time I am giving a name as Jenkins2. Let me check the docker log. It's starting now. Now one thing you just notice, this time it is not showing the administrative password because it's already set in our previous container creations. This time once again refresh the page. You can see still test job is there, although it is running in a new fresh Jenkins2 container. Okay, so this is just a demo with a pine mounting. You can create the same thing using volume mounting as well. So that's it for the demo. Thank you all. See you in the next tutorial. Till then, goodbye.